And in a few moments' time, Nigel and Ken joining me from the Broadstairs Blues Bash. It's back in Broadstairs, 17th, 18th and 19th of February. It's the 9th year as well. So Nigel and Ken joining me talking about that festival, and also playing some blues live here on the radio as well. It's Nigel and Ken. Morning, guys.
Hello.
Nice to have you here. Nigel, it's into its 9th year, so just tell me about this great festival.
Well, it is. It's the 9th year. I can hardly believe it. And it started very small. Just me and a few friends getting a few bands together. I think we had 12 bands in a few pubs, which was not uncommon in Broadstairs over a weekend. And but we just made sure everyone had blues, and the festival got bigger, and we got some T-shirts, and we got some badges, and it got bigger and bigger, and now we've got 56 bands and 15 venues, and it's going from strength to strength.
Yeah, it does. Did you think then that perhaps Thanet or Broadstairs was missing a blues event?
Well, being a blues man, if you're into the blues, you have two options. You can either travel many miles to a blues festival and go around to all the pubs and watch all the blues many miles away in a different county, or you can do what I do and start your own blues festival and have them come to you, which seemed a much more geographically sound option. And that worked well? Yeah, I mean, we kind of, the whole thing really is a credit to the Folk Week in many ways. Broadstairs Folk Week, they do an amazing job in the summer, and it's a great model. We think, well, that it really works. People love coming to Broadstairs. There had been something in Broadstairs before with the blues, but just one night, and so the idea of sort of bigger than one night but smaller than a week, it seemed to fit quite well. Yeah, it works well over a weekend. Yeah. Who's coming to watch this then? Tell me about the audience. Well, we've got lots of local people who are out and about anyway, but certainly choose that weekend to come out. And we've got people from all around the country and travelling in from Europe as well, because we've been going for so long now. Word spreads and people really like it, the festival. I started off, I put the bands in, I organised it, but now it's far beyond that. It's got its own spirit, its own atmosphere, and people love the blues, and they love the idea of all bands playing together, and they love Broadstairs as well. I think Broadstairs has to take almost all the credit for being a picturesque backdrop to put it all against. Yeah, great. And actually having it in February, we have so much going on throughout the year, but February's a fairly quiet month for things happening, I think I would say. Well, exactly. Well, it would have been 10 years ago. I was talking to John Prentice, who runs the greengrocers in the High Street, and we were talking about this and wondering when to put it, whether to put it before Folk Week or after Folk Week, because obviously you want a big space between the festivals. And he said, to be honest, what we need is something in February when the town is really quiet. I mean, it's the same all over Thanet as far as tourism-based industry is concerned. There's no one here, and so to get a special event where people come in, and thousands of people come in to a cold, blustery weekend in February, and what that means is I've got the whole of the town behind me as far as all the restaurants and the bed and breakfast and the hotels. They're like, yes, we'll support it. Yeah, go for it. Yeah, great. Now, Ken playing the guitar. We're going to have a piece in a moment. Nigel, you're on the harmonica, so great instrument. Just tell me what led you to learn to play that. Well, I was really into the blues, and I sang. And as a blues singer, the harmonica is sort of quite a classic sort of Mick Jagger type accessory. I don't know, I just sort of fell in love with it, and also in terms of its size to impact value, I think it's got the biggest ratio in terms. I'm not saying it's the best instrument, but certainly in terms of size to impact, it's definitely, it's got the biggest surrender value, as my old friend would say. Okay. And so you just stick it in your pocket and play. Yeah, and then quite literally you're able to gig bomb with abandon. Yeah, you're going to play us a couple of tracks. Let's have the first one now, if that's okay, before we talk more about what's happening at this festival. It's called Nobody Knows. So Nigel and Ken, Nobody Knows. Thank you. 'cause I lived the life of a millionaire. Spent all my money, I just did not care. Took all of my friends out for a mighty good time. Barboulet whiskey, champagne and wine. Then I began to fall so low. Lost all my good friends, did have nowhere to go. If I get my hands on $1 again, I'm gonna hang on to it till that old eagle grins. 'Cause nobody knows you when you're down and out. In your pocket, not one penny. And as a friend, well, you don't have any. Well, when you finally get up on your feet again, everyone wants to be your long-lost friend. I say, it's mighty strange, without any doubt. Nobody knows you when you're down and down. When you finally get back on your feet again, everybody wants to be your long-lost friend. I said, it's mighty strange, without any doubt. Nobody knows you. Nobody knows you. Nobody knows you when you're down and down.
Nobody knows you. Thank you, Ken. Thank you, Nigel. Nigel and Ken are with us in the studio talking about the Broadstairs Blues Bash taking place 17th, 18th and 19th of February. Thank you very much, Nigel, for that last piece.
It
was great. We'll have another live piece in a few moments' time. Ken has just gone out to get himself prepared.
He did. It's a preparatory exercise.
He's doing good out there. So he's getting ready to come back and join us for the second piece. Now, most of the gigs in Broadstairs during the festival are free, and as you say here on your flyer, over 50 free top quality blues acts. Just tell me, who are you looking forward to seeing this year? I mean, you're looking forward to all of them, I know. But if there are some that you really say, yeah, this is great, maybe an exclusive, maybe a first time down, who are you looking forward to?
Well, there's a harmonica player called Liam Ward. He's playing with a band called the Rumble Strutters, and they sound great, and they
great name.
Yeah, that's right.
Great name.
They live up to it. So they're really good. They're coming down. They're coming all the way over from Wales, and that's the first time for them. So I'm looking forward to that. And also a guy called Francesco Piu. He's coming in from Italy, and he's amazing. He's just one man, although actually he's playing in a duo this year, but essentially he's a solo act with a drummer, and he's a real entertainment, and it looks great, and it's. A lot of people think the blues is all misery and oh god, I woke up this morning, but he puts such a great slant on it, and it is moving, it's poignant, but at the same time it's up and it's fun, and he's got the whole pub dancing, and it's just him on a guitar. It's great.
And then Friday and Saturday, they're the two ticketed gigs, aren't they, at the Pavilion?
Yeah.
Just tell us about those.
Well, Friday we got all the pubs, all the gigs in the pubs until 11, and then at 11 more or less that comes to a close, and Will Johns is on in the Pavilion. Will Johns is down there in Brighton. He plays with some great people. He plays in Fresh Cream with the sons of the original members of Cream. But this particular thing is Will Johns and Friends, and it'll be a great late night party from sort of 11 till 1. A good way to finish off the first day of the festival, and that's just £5. That's really just to cover the band and just to get everyone in there. And then on the Saturday night is the headline. We've got Steve Morrison, who just finished Sky Guitar, which was a Sky Arts guitar star, and that was sort of like I don't know what you say, an X Factor for guitarists.
Yes.
But he was on there. And he was great because there was all these young guys playing really fiddly guitar, and he was there, the old blues guy, just playing blues, and he sounded great. He gave a good account of himself. Good ambassador for the blues, old Steve. So it's great to see him. He's supporting it. And then it's the Boom Band after them. They're headlining. They're like 4 guitars, including Mark Butcher, the famous cricketer. And it's a guitar frenzy. I'm always criticised for saying for having a harmonica band headline, but I've got a 4-piece guitar band, or four guitar band. So it should be. It's a proper guitar orgy on stage Saturday night.
Excellent.
They'll be on about 9:30, something like that.
Mm-hmm. And tickets for that, it's £15, is that right, for Saturday?
Yeah.
If people want to get hold of tickets, what's the best way?
There's the website, broadstairsbluesbash.com, or they've actually got them in person at the Pavilion, so if you don't want to get involved in any online transactions, just pop into the Pavilion and they'll sell the actual paper card ticket to you.
Can you still get those real
old school? Paper, you have to take real old school money, and they will do that job for you.
Going to put you on the spot just for one question, Nigel, if that's okay. If there was one act that you really are excited for coming this year, and I know you like all of them, just say who you are really, really excited and looking forward to see.
Well, I would, although I've said him already, I'd say Francesco Q.
Yeah.
But in terms of coming back, and because I say everyone only plays once, because otherwise everyone wants to come back, and we'd never get anyone new. There is an exception. Toby from King Size Slim, he seems to come every year, and it's so nice to have him. And so I'll be looking forward to him as well Sunday. And I should plug my own gig, because I'm playing there just to finish off the festival, if we're all still standing, and that's in the Neptune's Hall at I think we start about 7 o'clock, and that's really just a celebration of everyone who's left standing, and there'll be some special guests there. I'm not entirely sure who yet.
No, okay, because of course you do the Sunday Blues Jam every month, is that right?
That's right. Ken's heavily involved in that. The last Wednesday of every month we do it's not just blues, although that's an important part of it, and that we do that in the Root of Arms on the last Wednesday of every month in Broadstairs, and lots of people come along and just play, listen. It's very informal. Sometimes it's brilliant, sometimes it's not as brilliant as it was the month before, because it relies entirely on people just getting up and playing, and that's what's happening on the Sunday in the Pavilion at 12 o'clock. Anyone can come along, just watch or play or sit in. You just go up to Ken and just say, well, I play harmonica, or I play guitar, I play drums, and we just have a great melee for 4 hours. And some of it is brilliant. We get, because not everyone can come. A lot of the blues people who contact me to play, I can't always find a slot for them, but they often come anyway and sit in on the jam. So suddenly you'll get people who've been playing in their bedroom for 4 months, and then suddenly you get someone, wow, who's this guy?
Fantastic.
He's proper good.
Real hidden talent. Let's have a second track live from you two, if that's okay. It's